What's up, cooks? It's Wednesday. Today we're continuing our look at the GE Profile Smart Stand Mixer. This mixer has an integrated scale. So today we're going to try this scale out. We're going to try to test its accuracy. And we're going to make a bread recipe using grams right in the stand mixer. So join us. Welcome to the Amy Learns to Cook kitchen. Okay, so I have a pound of butter here. It says 454 grams. The only thing is it's in the package still. Not this, but it's in the wrappers. So we're going to test it with my regular Aquatronics Salter scale against this, just to see how they compare. So we have this scale here. I'm going to turn it on. And I have it on 0 grams. It's kind of difficult with this because you have the wrapper, but then you have these scales that only measure like 5 grams. So if it comes up 454 plus the wrapper, it's going to weigh it at 460. So let's see. Dead on. My Aquatronic is 460.
Yay.
Now let's see about the profile. 460.
Yay.
So we have equal, right?
Uh-huh.
Let's see if it can weigh small amounts. So I have in this little package here, I have some weights that are used to calibrate scales. So provided these things are accurate, you would think you buy these to calibrate a scale and they would be accurate.
Oh, come on, boo. The Jet Propulsion Lab in Pasadena uses these things.
So this is what it looks like. This thing is odd. Number one, it's really slow to re-register. Okay, so one of the problems is these things don't measure in exactly, they don't measure less than 5 grams. So what if I put 30 on here? What is the Aquatronics going to say? 30. It says 30.
Ooh.
Let's zero him out because he doesn't know where he wants to be. So let me put 30 in there. 30.
Hey.
So I think we're calibrating pretty well. The only issue with this is it's really, like if I put all these weights in here and it registers 35 and I want to zero it out, sometimes it doesn't go back to 0. It goes back to negative something. This time it did. I think you can also put the weight directly on the base of this thing. So let me zero it out. Let me put 30 grams on the base. It's settled at 25.
It didn't know whether it wanted 25 or 30.
Let me zero it out again.
Try it again. Yeah, we're going to do best 2 out of 3.
25. If you put it directly on the base, it's not accurate. So we're going to make some bread, so let me go get the ingredients. Okay, so we are making this recipe for just basic sandwich bread. It is up on my website. This recipe is all in grams. I calculated it based on baker's percentages. At the time when I did that, I got a lot of flack for using grams and baker's percentages. I didn't convince everybody to convert to that, but I want to convince you to convert to that. So we will be having a video soon on baker's percentages again. But this is a 65% hydrated dough. So let's start out by putting the dough hook on. That will help.
In case anyone doesn't know, Amy's kind of a teacher at work. So if you don't agree with her, she will.
Yeah, you could say that, sort of. I teach people stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go to scale. And I'm going to zero it out. And I need 692 grams of water. And this is what's kind of difficult with this because you can overpour.
So do you say 692. So do you go for 690 or 695?
I don't know. 690.
Go easy, Lulu.
You can just overpour. This is the problem with having this like this because
Okay, decision time. 690 or 695?
we can go 690. Because I know I'm going to overpour it. Okay, so sugar. I need 25 grams of sugar.
So you're going to tear
Zero it out. We're going to tear it out. If that's the word. Which you didn't do. Tear. Zero. And what did I say? 25 grams. I think you guys probably already know my feelings about all this. Yeast. 9 grams of yeast, which basically means I'm going to do 10 grams. There I go.
Oh! Our first casualty.
It's not a big deal on the yeast. Butter. Butter, I need 37 grams. We're doing 3.5% butter. What did I say? 37 grams. So I'll probably go 40 grams.
Well, 35. It depends on how you want to round things. Do you want to round down or round up to the nearest 5 grams?
$35. Close enough. So we need 1,066 grams of flour. Sometimes that varies a little bit depending on the humidity and how wet or dry your flour is. So that's sort of a guideline.
He's showing ready. He's not showing any weights. So you have to turn him back on.
And halfway through, we're going to Oh, nice.
Can you not do a scale and stir at the same time?
No.
Wow.
Okay, well, we learned something there.
Can you try that again? Put the scale on and then see if you can stir.
No.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. So you're just going to have to do it individually then.
0. Come on, 0 out. It's kind of slow on that.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to put in, let me go ahead. One.
Do you want to put like half of it in or something and stir it a little bit?
Well,
Because if you start stirring, you're going to have to zero it again, won't you?
we're going to go 750.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and put in scale 0. Oh, gosh. 0. I'm going to go ahead and put in 20 grams of salt.
You there?
Scale 0. 750. 850. 975. Don't do what I just did. I didn't lift the bowl up. I was like, why isn't it mixing? User error.
For the scale to work, though, it has to be down, though, right?
I don't know. So we're 975 grams of flour right now. I might be good with that. Ooh, it is a little sticky. I think I maybe want 50 more grams. 80 more grams. Okay. So I'm just going to let it go and we'll see what we get. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and turn this off. I'm going to go ahead and get this dough out of here. The mixer's not warm at all. We've been kneading it for like 15 minutes. It didn't come away from the bowl because the dough's a little sticky. I wanted it that way. So that's why it's like that. So let me get the bowl off of here. Okay, so this is a pretty sticky dough. Look at that. Yeah. Get a little on my hands. So, I sort of had the same trouble I had last time getting the dough hook off, because when you have a kind of a sticky dough, it doesn't pull away from the hook, and so the hook is like stuck on there, and the only way you can really get that hook off is if you can get it clear underneath it. So yeah, I've been having a little bit of trouble with that quick disconnect. So here's our dough. Yeah, it is a little sticky. Sticky dough is fine dough. Just think if you were hydrating this like 80, 90, 100%, right? You almost got a batter on your hands.
You got a quicksand.
So here's our dough. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to divide this dough in half, and I'm going to let this slow rise in the fridge overnight, and then I'm going to take it out and bake it. I will bring you along for that when that happens. So that will be in the morning. I will be taking this out, letting it warm up a little bit, then shaping it, then panning it, letting it rise again, and then baking it off. Why, pray tell, would I do that? Develops flavor, right? Develops flavor, develops a little gluten a little bit more, all that fun stuff.
It's not like you get used to it. When you don't do it,
yeah,
you're missing that flavor.
Yeah, I like that. So there's our dough. Okay, so the dough has been in the fridge for actually a day and a half, so it should be nice and slow fermented. I'm going to let it sit here and chill, take the chill off. I'll take it out, shape it, and then I'll let it do a second rise. So when this is ready to be shaped, I'll be back. Okay, so it warmed up. It started puffing up. So I shaped it, squeezed it, slapped it around, and panned it. Woo! Yeah. Woo! Yeah, so these are going in the oven. I'm going to give these a little bit of butter. Butter my buns. And I'm going to let them brown up. So here's the bread. It looks nice and yummy. And it needs to cool. And it looks amazing. So my thoughts on the scale situation. So first and foremost, to me, the scale was a little slow. Every time I went and tried to, I'm ready to put my next ingredient in there and I had to reset. Sometimes it doesn't reset back to 0, but when it does reset, it's slow. And it sort of slows down my pace of my work. So that, I would rather use a regular scale. How do I feel about using a scale on the mixer? Personally, I would rather use a separate scale. I feel like, the dough on my hands, I feel like I could overpour it. I feel like one big challenge of it was when I'm trying to add that flour in, I want the mixer running as I'm doing that. And you have to shut the mixer on, then turn the scale on, and then weigh more, and then turn the mixer on. It's not like a free flow thing for me. If I weigh the flour out on a scale in a bowl, I can free flow the flour in there as I watch the dough develop. I am not somebody that says you have to be down to this ounce, and that's exactly what I'm going to put in here. I feel like I'm the cook, I'm the baker, I'm the whatever you want to call me, right? The home cook. And a machine just can't do that for me. I control how my dough looks. I control how my dough feels. And I don't just leave it only exactly to weights. I weigh, but I want to know how the dough is feeling. I want to watch as the flour goes in. I want to know how the mixer's bringing that together. If I was totally inexperienced, I might want that. But once you make 3 or 4 loaves, you start wanting to control what's going on in that bowl. And I have to start and stop and stop and start because I can't have the scale on, I don't like that, right? So my opinion of having a scale on board the stand mixer, I know they do that in a commercial environment because they can dial their dough in and they dial their recipe in, and they have to be able to train their employees, right? Because they might not have employees that have that kind of level of skill or attention. So a lot of huge Hobarts will have the scale in there. For me as a home cook, I could do without it. Those are my thoughts, and I hope you enjoyed this recipe. I've got dough all over my hands. Happy Wednesday.